Hi everyone, this is Anubhav Paul, and I have spent a fantastic hour on Taking It Slow, which is a fantastic new podcast you should check out. They've had quite a few brilliant people on. I don't know why they decided to reduce their reputation and get me on it, but I will be on. So please listen, check out the podcast wherever you get your pods, and these are the guys to watch.
Our guest today is one of the OGs in the Indian comedy space. He's been called India's most intelligent comedian by the New York Times, has sold out over 500 shows with his special The Nation Wants to Know across the world. He is the only Indian stand up comedian after Russell Peters to sell out the Gotham Comedy Club in New York. He is also the only Indian comedian invited to perform at the Harvard University. The Times of India lists him among India's top 5 English speaking comedians, having sold out over 750 shows across India, the Middle East, Singapore, Hong Kong, San Francisco, Texas, Boston, and New York. Anubhav is also a phenomenal writer. He was the screenwriter of Bollywood films like Lions of Punjab and The President is Coming. He is also the author of hit stage plays like 1888 Dial India, The Bureaucrat, and The Chaos Theory, which have also become best selling novels. His work has been featured internationally in the Time magazine, CNN, BBC, Wall Street Journal, Huffington Post, Vogue, The Economist, The New Yorker, and many other publications. What you might not know about him and his work that I most love is his weekly podcast with Kunal Roy Kapoor, Our Last Week, which is absolutely a must listen to if you haven't heard it already. With the longest intro in the history of intros behind us, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome onto the Taking It Slow podcast none other than Anubhav Pal. Hey Anubhav, how are you, man?
Jitendra, I don't know who you introduced. I have no idea. He sounds like some good person here.
Some big shot, huh?
Yeah, he sounds like I'm just a guy who lives in a Mumbai suburb trying to make a living. I mean, you introduced some proper person.
Anubhav, you are a proper person, man, and you're probably one of the naturally funny guys who I've come across. So I'm obviously a very very regular listener to Our Last Week. For those who haven't heard the podcast yet, do yourself a favor and check it out immediately after you stop listening to this episode. I mean, it is an insane podcast between two hilarious people. And what do they talk about? They talk about how their week has gone. Nothing funny about that, right? Watch how they make it funny. So, Anuv, I want to start off with Our Last Week itself. You've been doing that with Kunal for quite a while, and you have been working with Kunal for quite a while. I guess your first movie that you wrote, Lions of Punjab Presents, उसमें भी you had worked with Kunal. तभी से association चल रहा है या you've known each other before that as well?
No, from then I met him on Lawrence of Punjab, and then we did President is Coming together. Then we did a play called 188, and we've been working together. We just finished a Zoom play for Book My Show called Admission,
Okay.
with Tilottama Shom and Rasika Dugal also in major parts.
Nice.
So I'll send you the link actually. Yeah, we just did that last weekend. So we've known each
You
other.
recently done Going Viral as well, you together.
Yes, we did Going Viral 2017. I think the only thing where Kunal and I didn't do together was a show called Wakalat from Home, which is on Amazon that I did during the pandemic. It's a Zoom sitcom, legal sitcom, with Sumit Vyas and Nidhi Singh and Kubra
right.
Seth and Gopal Das. But everything else has had Kunal in it. Yeah.
So is he like your lucky mascot, like Karan Johar has his K or something like that? Before you answer that, has he been lucky for you at all?
No. We've been very unlucky for each other. Very unlucky. We keep saying that every time we collaborate, some marketing or publicity deal falls through. Like President is Coming, English language film. So we knew we already were going to get like small marketing.
Yep.
Then 2611 happened. So we are struck by just continual sort of bad, like we did Going Viral and we got some advertising around Going Viral, but most of that advertising went to like sensibly, logically to the Hindi shows like Zakir and all, and they're all outstanding. But we are very unlucky for each other. I don't know why we continue doing this to each other, and we are aware that we're unlucky. Like we know when we get into a new thing, nobody's going to watch this. Even this weekend, Book My Show, they put it out. It's very nice, and some people saw it, but it just happened to be this year. Like if we had brought it out last year when Zoom was popular,
Yeah.
many more people would have seen it. It just came out the year Zoom has died. So, less people want to be on Zoom. So I'm telling you, our collaborations are meant to go towards some sort of failure.
Your collaboration has brought down Zoom. Matlab,
Yeah.
So,
And hopefully,
who-
I'm hoping it doesn't take down Spotify because of our last week.
who came up with the idea of our last week? Who came up with the idea of having a podcast together?
So that was Audiomatic, Rajesh Tahil and those guys, Avdut, Kanolkar. They're brilliant producers. But it was a confluence of 2-3 things, actually. Kunal and I were pitching some film in Andheri. This was 2007 and 8. And we were driving back. We're in a car. We're having this car ride. And we were just talking about like getting our script rejected and stuff. And I think it was either he asked me how my last week was or I asked him how last week was. And we began to realize that our last week had a lot of questions that were unanswered. And so we started sort of this discussion about all the complications of our last week. And, and we were thinking this would be nice to talk about on a regular basis. We didn't think just like you guys don't, keep count of your listeners or whatever. You just have to do your thing, right? Like you were saying earlier.
Right.
We thought it would be nice to do this, to sort of sort out our conundrums with each other. And that way we get to meet once a week and then, talk about these conundrums and which are basically like some sort of a this or that problem.
Right.
Like should I have done this or should I have done that? But not like romantic things. Like should I choose this person or get an arranged marriage? Not like that.
You're not playing Love Guru, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So, but far more smaller problems to do with toothpaste and light bulbs and this life thing. And I just don't know. I don't know if you find maybe I'm overthinking it, but everything in India is a bit of a battle. Like everything, every conversation, every relationship, and you could be the sort of person who ignores it. And they're like, "Hey, what is it?" Say something casual like 6 baje subah ka flight hai, kya hai? And or you could be the person whose whole life is talking about the conundrum.
6 baje ka
6 baje ka
shit
flight
kaise
hai.
hoga?
Correct. So whether you're a warrior or a thinker is just like living every week in our lives in India with our families, which may seem extremely boring. And in many ways, I'm sure to a lot of listeners, it's like, this is nonsense. I'm not going to listen to this. Because we're not talking about, great grand things like stock markets or Bitcoin. We don't have, basically, we have no answers. So, and a lot of podcasts about mental health and, like a lot of the top podcasts in India are about somebody who's a fount of knowledge, giving you knowledge.
Like
And
a Naval
ours-
Ravikant, huh?
Yeah, and he knows a lot. He's a rich guy, he's great, man. He's and ours, I think, is to bring ignorance to the doorstep of our listeners. Like
We
can't-
balance the IQ.
yeah, and we just bring questions. Like we don't have answers. We hope our listeners give us answers. Because we don't know anything. Like the older I'm getting, the lesser I know. I have a 28-year-old cousin, and I usually call her for most things in life. Including like grand things, like big, difficult things. Because I find that generation far brighter than we are.
Why a podcast? It could have been a play, could have been a mini series. Us time pe when you started, podcasting was not really a thing. It has really picked up over the last year and a half or so. So you've been doing this for quite a while. But why start a podcast of all things? Was this a conscious decision or us time pe laga that this is an experimental space? Let's try it out. Dekhte hain kya hota hai. Why have a podcast at all? Why not a YouTube series, for example?
Yeah, so when Audiomatic years ago had approached me to do a podcast to talk about sort of something as an individual and I found that terrifying, tedious, and insane. Just the idea of having to listen to one man do something. And there were lots of things I used to enjoy in like that time. Judd Apatow films and Zach Galifianakis, those things were quite big. And also, I think Tanmay and Khamba were doing their thing.
Yeah.
And there was something quite lovely about, like, I just like the idea of someone sleeping at night, some listener, and having just two men discuss things, not argue, which can get very difficult,
Just chat
but
about stuff.
discuss things that are relatively humorous. And I thought that would be nice, and it'll bring listeners sleep. Like, I thought it'd be nice for a listener if they wanted to sleep. This would be a good. And I was like, listen, I love the guys at Automatic, but I said, listen, could we? Why don't we all sit down? Because I think if Kunal and I had a thing, I think it would be fun. Like if we chatted. So basically, three of us met, and Kunal, I think, and Rajesh, and we all sort of got along, and Avdut, who's our editor. So now it's a team, and we're very, very fond of each other, and it's a full thing, that we put out on Instagram. But it really started with us just getting along with these people. Like initially it was Avdut and Rajesh, and we met, and we thought, wouldn't it be fun to just have these conversations about a conundrum? And only lately we've been breaking it up into world conundrums and India conundrums and my conundrums. But earlier when we started, it was just conundrums. Just what happened to us in the last week. Just very, very personal. And then if it reached out to the world, it did. And also the good fun thing is that it lets you think about what you did in the week. Like when you sit down to write the conundrums, I often forget what I did in a whole week. Like they often say in murder mysteries, if you ask a person, like, "Aap kahan the?" Wednesday raat ko aap kahan the? If you are not a murderer, you most likely will say, "Mujhe yaad nahi hai."
Yaad nahi hoga, huh?
It's only the murderer who'll know exactly where he was because he's prepared.
He has to create an alibi, yeah.
Yeah, and most people don't know what they did. And sometimes I, just in the recounting of it, pick up things. And Kunal in the recounting of it picks up things about his week. And we're like, oh shit, this happened. And then you get quite excited to share that with a friend. Just like you would a friend, like something happened over the week. Yeah. It just now happens that we do it with a large number of people. And now it's because our listenership has gone up a little bit. First time ever, I don't know if I don't want to speak for Kunal, it'd be great if he was here. But I'm beginning to have some thoughts on like, should this be private? Should I share this? Should I,
censoring content?
Yeah. More and my life, I mean, I'll give you a little thing. I had a bit of surgery last week, which will obviously give us loads of material to talk about. And how much of that do I want to talk about? So those discussions Kunal and I have sometimes nowadays because our listener base has grown. Again, we were actually hoping the podcast would follow the trajectory of our films and plays and no one would watch them or forget about them or a terrorist attack would interrupt them. Sadly, none of those things have happened with this. So that's beginning to worry us a little bit.
इतना आगे का प्लान नहीं किया था कि इतने जब व्यूअर्स हो जाएंगे तो क्या करेंगे, वो सोचा नहीं था.
इतना दिन जिंदा रहेंगे वो भी नहीं मालूम था.
But if you ask me, that is the vibe of your show, yaar. मतलब absolutely unfiltered, talking about everything in the world. You shouldn't censor it. Then it would take away from the vibe that you have with each other. It becomes a little structured, and the beauty of your show is that it is absolutely free flowing. You can talk about Kunal's kids having to identify their dad in front of their kids as iske father to screen pe potty karte hain. So all that stuff as well. Then you can talk about a journalist arguing over kitne kapde ka usne mera chaddi banaya aur wo sab. Yeah. That is the essence of your show. It is absolutely random. If you put structure into it, you lose the charm, na?
But don't you feel like India is random? Like when I was leaving my surgery, there's a ward boy who takes your bed. You lie in that bed. मुझे ये सब कुछ मालूम नहीं था. So they were wheeling this bed, and I thought I'll कुछ चालाकी करूँगा. So when they were near my room, I told the guy, "Sir, मेरा stop आ गया है." Like in an Uber or an Ola. I think मेरा stop आ गया है. आप मुझे यहाँ उतार दीजिए. मैं आपको 5-star review दे देता हूँ, right? And that guy looked at me, he said, "Sir, Uber यहाँ नहीं चलता है." He was also quite funny. He was wheeling me on a bed. And he said, "Sir, Uber यहाँ नहीं चलता है." So I've always, and I find like everyday Indian conversation very funny. And I don't see that in our films much. And I don't see, the absurdity of our everyday life to what people, just that comes from observing, and I feel like dialogue in film and TV shows and web series is very structured. Like, I've structured this joke, like I've thought about it and made it funny. Whereas real life in India is much more free flowing,
Incidentally, not just saying that because Kunal is in that movie, but the last truly random or real movie that I remember was Delhi Belly. जब वो
Very
बुर्का पहन के पानी पी रहा है, he does not realize उसने बुर्का पहना और पानी का ग्लास गिर. So that is something that would happen in real life, and no one
Basic
thinks.
stuff, right? Basic stuff, yeah.
Do you analyze your performance episode by episode podcast का कि इस पॉडकास्ट ने नंबर्स किए, इस पॉडकास्ट ने नहीं किए, इस पॉडकास्ट का डेमोग्राफी ये था, ऐसा सब? Are you into that at all, or does your team do that?
Yeah, they know a lot of that stuff. They know a lot of that stuff.
Achha.
But I just feel like, there's that theory. There's a theory. And sorry, all my examples today are hospital examples because I was in hospital last week.
Recency bias, yes.
Reason. So yeah, exactly. So I think there's got to be a scientific explanation to this. You know how they say, don't worry about blood pressure, because you worry about blood pressure, your blood pressure goes up, and they don't want you to. It's a cyclical. So if we get into that, then we'll start catering our conundrums to a thing, as opposed to letting an organic sort of life determine the comedy. So much of the modern world, I think, is audience driven. Like, उन लोग को क्या चाहिए, हम लोग वही बनाएंगे. Whereas I grew up in a generation of बनाते हैं फिर देखते हैं ना. अगर सब लोग बना रहे थे तो मैं क्यों बनाऊं? Like, if the whole point was that there were creators and there were humans. Now we are all humans and creators. Everybody's making stuff, right? So if all we're doing is analyzing our audience, when are we making stuff that we want to make and who we are? But all the people that are making stuff are telling other people to be original. So it's like that cycle that don't break the clutter, be original. But then we are spending our time looking at the data on how to replicate. So it's a vicious cycle, I feel. So
success stories में ये चला था तो हमको भी यही करना चाहिए.
Yeah.
Like Bollywood, एकदम formula based. Dabang 1, Dabang 2, Dabang 3 एकदम Xerox copy एक दूसरे के. Because Dabang 1 में ये चल गया तो exactly वही करो, अब उतने ही गाने, उसी setting में गाने, exactly वही चीजें करो वापस. तो
franchise, franchise. Marvel also does the same. It's just franchise thinking, right? So it's very, and I'm sure there are many benefits to studying that, and I know a lot of influencers, but we don't come from that world. Now we come from sort of TV film world where हम लोग का generation में we were lazy, na? A lot of it was easier for us. Meaning, like, there'd be marketing and producers, they would do the marketing. You would just go around and say interesting things about the film or the play or whatever. But आजकल the influencer को सब कुछ करना पड़ता है. Broadcast करना पड़ता है, फिर podcast को market करना पड़ता है, पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है, फिर audience ढूंढना पड़ता है. So, and that is why eventually we'll be phased out by sensible influencers, TikTokers. We'll get old. You will be phased out because they just
I like how you
harder.
say sensible. I like how you say sensible TikTokers. मतलब oxymorons right there.
नहीं, कुछ ना कुछ करेंगे ना वो लोग. वो कोई Instagram reels करेंगे. Sometimes I see these reels, whatever the trends are, they'll say, I got divorced at 21 and they did the hand gesture, all this. You've seen those, no? When the writing comes up. वो सब करेंगे, but they work damn hard, man. They work much harder than us.
They've gotten divorced at 21. They have worked hard.
And then I did this and I did that, and then they point to the top of the screen and कुछ text आता है and they ऐसे करते हैं. Like, we don't know how to do all that. So, so and the ऐसे भी आ जाता है text, ऐसे.
You're truly aging yourself right now by saying all this, na? एकदम अपने age बता रहे हो कि हाँ मैं बुढ़ा हो चुका हूँ.
Yeah, it's true. But it comes from everywhere. I don't even know. My trouble is that if I did one of those, I would put it and then वो text निकल जाएगा. वो box में होगा ही नहीं वो. I would
just keep pointing towards it.
Yeah, I'll be fitting my hand into the thing. So no, anyway, I'm digressing. But the point is that it's not good to not do it, but we haven't done it.
So it can be looked at it in a different way as well. कि सब लोग जैसे आप कहते हो breaking the clutter. And now reels is the norm. Now analyzing data is the norm. Everybody does that. So me and my cousin have this conversation quite a bit that we are progressing towards a time where all the information that we need, basic information that we need to survive our first 20-25 odd years will be inserted into a memory chip and then will be inserted into our limbic system as soon as we are born. And uske baad, what will help you survive, what will help you thrive is your creativity, is your original thinking process. Because see, if you analyze the last few years, the number of innovations has gone down drastically. The rate at which we were finding solutions to problems has gone down drastically because every mind has levitated towards social media, or we're not bored at all. People find out solutions when people are bored. People think when people are bored. People are not bored anymore. So reels पे TikTok पे swipe करते हैं. So it will become a mind-numbing norm in some time, and then someone will have to break the clutter and will have to do this and will have to be different from the reels. So it, as you said, it is a cycle, and there will be an end to this real cycle as well pretty soon, is what I think.
But one of the things that I am learning is that you have to change with the times in at least knowing where the eyeballs are. So we may not be able to do all the sort of trend reels, whatever, but we should have a presence. Last week, and we've begun to, and you'll see more of this, a presence on Instagram and a presence on Twitter and a presence on, I think the age of saying that, we only do this and we are nowhere else, is that age is gone. So you have to be where the people are, so you can't be doing radio in the age of television, is what I'm saying. So to that much sense, I think we are beginning to have. Otherwise, you just come across like some uncle, who you're not connected to the world. And I'm very interested in where the world is going. I'm very interested in how Indian audiences are changing. We may not study all the metrics and the data and say, ye acha kar raha hai, ye wo acha nahi kar raha hai. But once I know that more people are watching reels than say NDTV, then I know that reels is where we need to be, right? Like, so that way, I think we need to understand how the world is changing.
Right. I don't know, where do you see the podcasting space go? I mean, people have very short attention spans these days. So हम लोगों को marketing में सिखाया जाता है that if you don't grab the attention of a viewer in the first 3 seconds, you've already lost his mind. You have to grab his attention in the first 3 seconds. Otherwise, he simply swipe up and your creative that you've placed for grabbing his attention is wasted. At best, if you have a very creative opening, you can hang on to him for 10 to 15 seconds. ये हमको अभी सिखाया जा रहा है that this is the usual attention span of your rational consumer. Podcasting by nature is a long form format. Chats like these, discussions or opinions, or there are educational podcasts as well, self-help podcasts as well. Do you feel that there is going to be a sizable audience for the podcasting world, or will it also have to evolve, like you were saying, to a shorter form reels or a snippet or something like that? Because I see Joe Rogan has also started putting out clips, which are, let's say, 6 to 7 minutes long, 10 minutes long, from his 2-hour and 3-hour long conversations.
See, I've also never sort of quite understood 2-3 hour podcasts in the 21st century, right? Like, and we do a comedy podcast. So our length is around the same as a sitcom, 30 minutes. But I do think that for that 30 minutes, 2-3 minute YouTube पे डालना ही पड़ेगा, 4 minute, some minutes on Instagram. So it has to change from that perspective, like, I think just like advertising, you got to advertise the thing. The thing could be 30 minutes, but you send out 2 minutes on Instagram, 3 minutes on something. वो अभी करना ही पड़ेगा, I think. If you're asking me overall where it's going, I can tell you, we've been having a lot of conversations amongst friends, not stick to our last week, about the rise of sort of mental health and, like motivation. So I'm seeing a lot of this mental health and motivation area of podcasting really explode. And I think that it's also telling you something about India, because similar books also sell, motivation books,
Right,
business
right.
books,
Self-help books, yeah.
self-help books, and making money like crypto and all of that. So those spaces, I think, I mean, I was partly joking, but it's also facts, right? They
It
actually are very
is.
popular.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, that Naval guy, he's great. I listen to him sometimes. So knowledge, like any sort of knowledge for money, mental well-being, and uh, wellness, like
Hmm.
that sort of Ranveer Alabadia space, Ankur
Yeah.
Wariku space.
Hmm.
I'm seeing a lot of that sort of now being popular. Earlier, I think uh, I know the AIB started as a podcast, if you remember.
It did.
So,
Yes, of course.
so
SoundCloud pe the wo. So
yeah, so
they were
exactly.
another podcast.
So
Yeah.
different technology, different world. So I think it's no longer just comedy. I think now is sort of the time for. अगर आप comedies भी देखेंगे in the world, New York
Hmm.
Times, there was a big article about how Ted Lasso, that Apple show, he's a football coach who goes to England.
Hmm.
He's a
Hmm.
very,
Hmm.
it's not, nobody's laughing at him. He has taken an impossible challenge to teach football. People are laughing with him. So I think
Yeah.
the whole world is in that place of like, let's back the comic character. Little earnest is good. We don't always have to be so cynical. So that seems to be, look, we are not those people, unfortunately. So we'll carry on doing our thing. But if you ask me trend wise, that's what I'm seeing. But the other thing is that that doesn't mean that हम लोग बदल सकते हैं ना. Unfortunately, we are who we are. We always see the cynical side of life. But those that do that, great, more power to them, right?
Right, right. Let's try and talk a little about you as well. We've been talking about the podcast that you do for quite a while. Uh, do you consider yourself a writer or a stand-up comic? Which one of those two would you prefer?
So, I haven't done public stand up in a long time in
Hmm.
Bombay. I've been doing a lot of corporate shows, that kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
I've been writing more than I've been doing stand up, but I'd like to be both. Like, I really enjoy doing stand up. I've still been doing, in the last 5 years, I've still been doing stand up until the second wave. जब तक second wave हुआ, उससे पहले at
Hmm.
least, even through the first wave, almost every weekend.
Okay.
But just not public, like not on Zoom, mostly on corporates.
Fair.
So mostly private shows for corporates, but the tradition continued. So I was carrying on doing it. And writing takes a long time. You're building a script. I'm right now working on something with some people at Scroll and Debakar Banerjee and a few other people. So it takes us a year almost to develop the script.
Hmm.
And stand something, it's instant sort of, you do it on a weekend, you write new material. It feels great to do that. So abhi to dunya is shut. So stand up means Zoom, right? So uh, writing at least is that doesn't change. It carries on being the same.
These days,
Um,
stand up also means a lot of live YouTube streams and everything. So
ha,
we've seen a number of people take to YouTube to actually talk about. Say, Saurabh has his own podcast. I think you've been there on for
couple
an
of times
episode
we did.
there
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Yes, Angad has his own show for cricket. Tanmay is doing something completely different in the YouTube space, in the live gaming streaming space. We've never
Yeah.
seen you on YouTube. Is that something you consciously shy away from? Yeah, this is again, I'm too old for this shit. I don't want to get myself into this. Or what is the reason behind you not hosting a YouTube stream of your own? You've been too busy, or what has been the reason?
So that I years ago when people were putting up clips on
Hmm.
YouTube,
Hmm.
I said the moment I run out of money, I'll come on YouTube. Was my hope. So surprisingly, comedy was working reasonably well. But
Yeah, knock on
because
wood.
I figured I have now realized the value of the asset is this audience you build, which is a great asset,
Hmm.
and I'm now keen on doing that. You almost have to see it like a business that
Hmm. Hmm.
that you make these YouTube clips. Some of it you put on Instagram, so you sort of
Hmm.
the social media aspect of it is important.
Hmm.
What happened with my life is live shows, which then led to corporate shows, and I just didn't have time to build a YouTube base,
Hmm.
which I think is not a good thing because a lot of my colleagues did, and I think it only benefits you in the future.
Hmm.
I mean, I have a few clips here and there circulating, but I never put in the effort to build that base, which I should have in 2010 or 11, somewhere there when YouTube was just how comedians were being discovered. Because क्या हो गया मेरा shows चल रहा था every weekend, and I said, जब shows बंद हो जाएंगे मैं करूंगा, and shows बंद नहीं हुए till pandemic, till the pandemic, which nobody could. So this, if the shows never stopped, I never felt the requirement to do it. But I think if I had done it, it would have been a lot bigger. Like a lot more people would have maybe seen it.
You feel that is an opportunity missed by you?
I do think, but it's I don't think it's too late. I think because the material that I'd written, those were already with Amazon or whatever. So if I had to do it, it'd have to be new stuff. So yes, so absolutely an opportunity missed those 6-7 years, 2013 to now. I should have spent Joby extra time with all my colleagues very sensibly did, like Khatri or Pant or anybody, right? They built a whole base on YouTube. They understood the value of that. I never did that. Even Veer, I think, was very good with social media, even though he doesn't have any clips out there. I was never good with social media. But not to say that I shun it. It's just that I
didn't find the time.
Yeah, I didn't. And the traveling and the shows and the writing, it just took up so much of my time that I didn't find the time to have that idea that I'm going to build this as a business and build a YouTube following which will only help my shows. And that was short-sighted on my part a little bit.
We were recently talking about the stuff with Amazon. You have a special there on Amazon Prime as well. They forayed into India with your special.
Yeah, they did 10. Yeah, they did 10 in the beginning. I think a bunch of us did specials with them, and then I did 2 sitcoms with them, Going Viral and Wakalat. The second one, Rohan Sippy directed. So I've had quite a good relationship with Amazon in terms of these 3 things, but I haven't focused on writing a new special in a long time, and that's not good. I think that I'd love to restart once and I think I got cynical. Sometimes I thought, we'll abhi sab Zoom pe aa gaya, I'll still do my corporate shows on Zoom. It's fine. But I think I've now come to realize that I miss the adrenaline, I miss the audience, I miss Desh badal gaya, 10 saal ho gaya. It'd be nice to write something new. There were a number of years in which my career in India suffered because I was in the UK trying to build a career there. And it's very hard to build both. So I think that the thing that suffered was that the YouTube and the social media, etc.
How are the 2 audiences different, Anubhav? Performing in front of an Indian audience or in the UK?
So the big thing is I've always wanted, I had a sort of desire, I still do, that it's after a while it's easy to say, okay, Mamata Banerjee so and so and Narendra Modi so and so, and because it's like घर में मैं घर के लोग को jokes बोल रहा हूँ, like sometimes it's easy, but I wanted to try what it's like to write for a culture that has no context of you. जो आपको पहचानते नहीं है, जानते नहीं है, and to then give them a context and see if we can relate. So what's different is that all your very local easy topics are gone. Your absolute easy laughter is gone. Like
you're writing in their context now.
And sometimes contextless, right? By which I mean, say यहाँ पे, if I say, आप New Delhi railway station में, like say I begin something talking about that, and they immediately know what I'm talking about, right? Like New Delhi railway station में कुछ होगा, which they've all experienced and I've experienced. ये आधार कार्ड में कुछ होगा, which we Indigo में कुछ होगा, which we've all went through. So that common knowledge makes it quite easy to get that laugh.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that common knowledge, it's much harder.
Fair.
So that was the challenge which I wanted to set myself. And I'm not the only one. There are others doing it also. Veer is doing it also. And it's a challenge, and it's an interesting challenge, and I don't want to give that up either. But I think what happened in the pursuit of that is I could not spend enough time writing jokes here, putting out material, which I wanted to. So I have to find that right balance. वो मुझे करना है अभी.
But won't you say that it has paid off significantly? Matlab, you have built quite a good rapport with people in the UK. You have your name has value in the UK. Your name has value amongst the top international comics that India has produced. So that has also paid off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, no, exactly. I'm very thankful for it. I wouldn't do it any other way. But like, and we're discussing like, if you're doing four things which suffers, so that's what
Ah,
the YouTube suffered, unfortunately,
fair.
because of.
We were just talking about your special as well. How important is a special, Anubhav? So, as an absolute layman, why is a special important? Is it because of the royalty that you get, a monetary value, or does it build your brand a little better, or is it self note कि हाँ मेरा एक special होना चाहिए, I have done a special now? Why is a special important at all?
So I don't know how it is for these kids nowadays because now Amazon, Netflix have come and made the special a thing.
Hmm.
It's also, for me, I think you see where does an hour of stand up end?
Hmm.
कहीं तो खत्म करना पड़ेगा. So
Hmm.
to me, a special is like a film, right? So this 1 hour, these are the topics. This is my special, and the story ends here. And I think because of Dave Chappelle and Seinfeld and people seeing all these specials abroad, they started thinking, and correctly so, that we need to structure our hour like that.
Hmm.
Right? But think about Raju Srivastav or like the older Indian comics
Hmm.
who've probably been
Johnny
doing this.
Lever, yeah.
Johnny Lever. If you think about it, say they have 3-4 ghante ka jokes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they've been doing that for 30 years, 40 years, right? They'll
Hmm.
do some one old joke from 1985, some other joke they've written in 2015.
Hmm.
So they don't look at it like that, right? They look at it as a mix and match,
Hmm.
almost like a music. They're like, मैं ये
Hmm.
गाना गाऊंगा, ये गाना गाऊंगा, ये गाना गाऊंगा. I'll tell this
It is a
joke, this
concert.
joke, this joke. It's a concert. I'll do my greatest hits. Exactly.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
so it's a very Western concept and an interesting concept that I will do an hour and conclude it and be like a film and I'm done.
Hmm.
And that's gone and I'm never going to go to it again. And I'm going to do a new hour.
Hmm.
So I think that's where it comes to. Very new. It's very new. As opposed to like I'll have a bag of jokes which will keep growing. So हर साल मैं कुछ 3 घंटा लिखूंगा, 1 घंटा 20 मिनट जो भी, it'll keep growing and as shows come I'll do them in different places. So that's also sort of the other way to look at it, right? And so I don't know when it became such an important part of our comedy scene, but I see kids and they always say that now, like, "Arey, mujhe ek special chahiye, special, etc." You know, like it's a thing now, and I don't know where it came from, but I think you can have a very good career if you have, say, 2-3 hours of jokes, and you keep adding jokes to it, and you mix it up, and you tell stories, and you never let go of any of your old jokes, because if you are very good, maybe a joke you wrote in 1975 is still funny, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You'll maybe tweak it a little to suit the
Yeah.
present times, but yeah.
Or if it's stale, then maybe you haven't changed with the times, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe, but that doesn't mean that I don't think you should throw it away just because you did it in a special, which is how they do it in the West, and understandably, and I think that's great. That's great also because then you are forced to write a new hour. But then I guess you shouldn't get depressed if your new hour is not as good as your old hour, right? Or maybe it can be even better. I don't know. But it's a kind of thinking. And this kind of thinking, I think, came to India after streaming sort of guided comedy.
After Geo basically.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. After cheap internet. Yeah. Also, that the people that are putting up specials, right? They're not putting it up on YouTube, right? They're putting it up on a paid platform.
Yep.
So I don't know if you really ask me where comedy is watched. It's watched on little WhatsApp clips and YouTube videos, so free. Like a lot of comedy is consumed for free. Then once you know the person, you may pay them to come and do a private show or whatever. But the bulk of India's content consumption is free. I don't know if specials are a great way to get to a lot of people because it'll sit on Amazon, it'll sit on thing, but I don't know. Like if you tell me, where is, say, someone I find very funny, like Vipul Goel, where is he really famous from? is he famous from a special or is he famous from YouTube? I'd say YouTube,
YouTube,
right?
YouTube, yeah,
Yeah, I'd say WhatsApp clips in YouTube. So it's
yeah.
like that. I think. Um, so I don't know what the special really brings to
But
your comedy
it is a
career.
prestige thing now. कि हाँ मुझे एक
Yeah,
special
but I
चाहिए.
guess it's a marker. It's a marker. Yeah, which is great.
That you have arrived, sort of in the space.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's whatever gives you that sense of
Hmm.
validation. Great.
And you're speaking about it. It's sitting on Amazon. Amazon पे shelf life भी बहुत कम है, in my opinion, because it'll be heavily promoted in, for say, 3 days, 4 days, and by the week ends there will be something new that they will be
Correct.
promoting. So
Done.
if your audience misses out those 3 to 4 days जब वो heavily promote हो रहा है, then nobody will know of you.
Correct. Exactly.
Shelf life is very small.
Exactly. So, but now that's true for all entertainment, right? They have a certain window within which they'll push it, and then the thing will die. So, the point is, you have to keep writing, right? Like, I find people who have specials who throw away all their jokes to be incredibly brilliant writers, because that means every year they're writing fantastic material and touring with it and having a special ready. Or it's amazing, you know, like.
Hmm.
I can do that with, say, an episode of a sitcom, but if you tell me every hour can I come up with a brilliant hour, I could, but then every night I need to be in a comedy club for that hour to be good.
And is it viable at all? So let me put it this way. You've been a part of the Indian comedy scene for more than a decade now, मतलब much more than a decade. How has it evolved in front of your eyes? Have the last 3-4 years, post the advent of cheap data, escalated the rise of the Indian comedy scene? Or when
Yeah.
will comedy become as viable an option that a young kid can aspire to become a stand-up comedian when he's in standard 10 maybe?
तो अभी हो रहा है ना, हो गया वो हो गया सर.
Hmm.
I think जो आप बोल रहे हैं वो 2018 में हो गया. I think we are post that already. There are loads of kids who want to be comedians. There are also loads of comedians. There are loads of, but I think till live opens as an ecosystem, you know, like the whole thing is stuck, na? Because where will they come and showcase their stuff till the clubs open? I mean, you got Habitat here. I don't know what is there in Delhi. Now it's an aspiration. I mean, everyone has their comedic heroes. It's a thing now. Like, it's absolutely loads of people are thinking it's a viable career. Only thing is that till the engine starts up of the clubs and stuff, you know, where will these kids practice? Where will they write their special? Where will they? How will Amazon see it? You know, like how will this all happen? You know, where will they record it for YouTube?
So the culture has to come in from open mics, and I don't see honestly a lot of cafes or pubs offering open mics as a service
Yeah.
to the consumers. I mean, in UK, I was recently in the UK for last year, and every second pub there had an open mic scene on a dedicated day of the week.
Correct.
So we are quite a bit off from there.
Yeah, exactly. So their live comedy has restarted, you know. So there's a funnel to create young comics. Where is our funnel? Like, that is my thing. I mean, pandemic, I understand. So, but post pandemic, unless you have a system, then these kids will, what are they aspiring to, right? They want to play to people. They want to be discovered. They want to make connections. All that needs to happen.
Maybe they are on TikTok and Instagram Reels right now.
Hopefully, yeah. Wherever they can get their comedy out.
So, Anubhav, what can we expect from you in the near future? You've been working on something of late for Amazon as well. What you've been itching to get back into the stand-up comedy space as well. What can we expect from you in the coming few months or years?
Well, I want to get back touring in India by this winter. I want to write an hour. I want to go to cities I haven't been to in a long time. I want to get back into the comedy life. I really miss it.
Right.
That's my first goal. I just want to see audiences, and I want to do a lot of stand-up in the next 6 months to a year, because I don't know when bloody another pandemic will hit, man. You know, like I was lucky enough to have a good 10 years of touring. but I want to do that again. I want to hit the road and I want to do a bunch of shows in Bombay. And of course, the very first thing I'm doing is in the UK. I have a run 5 nights at Soho Theatre starting September 6th, which will be my
Nice.
first gig, where I'd done a show at Edinburgh on the movie Disco Dancer, the film Disco
Right,
Dancer,
right. I've heard about it. Yes.
called Democracy of Disco Dancing. So that will be the very first thing I'm doing live back on my feet in September.
Nice.
So
Nice.
and then I want to come back in October and then start writing here in Bombay.
Nice. Look forward to it, Anubhav. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you, man. I mean, it did not feel like I was speaking to someone for the very first time. So thank you for making me feel so comfortable, and it was absolutely lovely speaking to you. Hope you
It
had a
was
good
my
time as
pleasure.
well.
I had a great time. I'll let Kunal know that you remember his toilet thing and his water drinking. Thank you for talking about the podcast, and yeah, it was great to be here.